Notice convening the meeting is taken as read. And may I ask Member Knight to lead us in prayer, please.
Let us pray. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. We humble our hearts to you this morning, Lord. We thank you for allowing us to be here. Lord, you have kept us and we worship you. Here we are, Lord, about to commence meeting on business of the parish and of the community. We ask you, Lord, that you will be with us in a very special way. We thank you, O God, for those who have gathered here this morning. We have children, we have adults, and we have persons listening to us also. We ask you, Lord, that you will allow us to behave ourselves in an orderly manner. And Lord, at the end of it all, then we can all say it was good for us to be here. Have your way with us, Lord, and through us. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. National anthem, please. Eternal Father, bless our land. Guide us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light to countless hours. To our leaders, great defender, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love. Teach us true respect for all. Stir response to duty's call. Strengthen us the weak to cherish. Give us vision lest we perish. Knowledge send us, Heavenly Father. Grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be ours forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love. You may be seated. Thank you, Mrs. That looks a little bit better. Thank you very much. This morning we have seated in the gallery students from the Fairfield Primary School and Huntley Primary and Infant School. They are here observing the proceedings of the corporation this morning, and I am hoping and I hear Reverend Knight in his prayer asks for us to be humble this morning and don't make any problems. So please remember that whatever you show here this morning is what the students is going to take away from you. All right? I hope they will learn. Our teachers are here with them too, and we're happy to have them to observe our meeting this morning. And I'm sure when they would have left here, they can say they've learned something and would have helped them, especially in their PEP exams and all of those exams nowadays. Even though other persons think that we should get rid of local government, but that's for a different discussion on a different morning. But we are all happy to be here this morning. Let me welcome you all, and first of all apologize for being late, because they know that I don't start my meetings late. So we get into the meat of the matter. We're at item number 3, apologies for absence. Oh, sorry. Let me welcome Superintendent Kerry Duncan in his capacity as the superintendent for the parish of Manchester. The last time he was here, he was deputy acting as superintendent. Congratulations, sir, to you and yours, and may you continue to do your work here in the parish. Let me welcome all the other officers from the various agencies and hope that we'll have a fruitful meeting this morning. I know Mario will have some questions for you, so prepare yourself. All right, apologies for absence. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. Apologies for Councillor Brown, who will be absent today.
Okay. Okay, Councillor Brown, any other apologies? Any other apologies? Okay, we move on to item 4, confirmation of minutes of regular meeting held on September 11th. But before we do confirmation, will we take the corrections, please? On page 1, page 2, page 3. Go ahead. Dias, not Dias, D-Y-E-R. Okay, let me see.
It's on page 1.
Page 1, sorry, okay. So it's Ricardo Dyer.
Yes, D-Y-E-R.
Okay. All right, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7, page 8, page 9, page 10, and of course, page 11. The motion is in order. Moved by Councillor Kennedy, seconded by Councillor Oliphant. All in favor? Any abstentions? Any against? No. All right, we move on to matters arising on page 1. Page 2. Page 2, madam. Or, oh, sorry. Acting. On the matter of the street lights, are all the council divisions, you know?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Before you leave the street,
Could you turn on the mic for me?
we were promised 50 by the minister, the honorable minister. When can we make that request for those?
When did he say we're getting them?
That's why I asked. I don't know.
Okay, so we need to follow up with the minister to request to see when the 50 street lights that were promised to all council divisions will be made available, because I know we still have need for them all over the parish of Manchester. On page 3, yes, I go ahead.
As it relates to streetlights, we are close to the end of what we should get for 23-24, and we are now for last year, and we are almost at the end of this year, and we haven't heard anything about streetlights for this year.
Yeah, so could you please do that follow for us to the PS to ask when we will get those? Any update on the construction of the indigent house in Porus? Sue?
Morning, everyone. The construction chairman would have commenced on Monday.
Okay.
We are actually completing the excavation. So I would say we are about 2% complete. That's
Okay. All right. So we're at 2%. Hopefully by the end of of this month we'll be somewhere. It wouldn't be completed. I know it take a little bit longer than that, but we're hoping. For those of you who don't know, this is a house that we're building for some persons who got burnt out earlier last year, and so the minister had allocated some funds for us to do a house for the family, and so that's what we're acquiring. Any other matter on page 3? Yes, sir.
Questions. When these houses like these are constructed, who is the real owner?
That's that's a good question, Councillor Oliphant. But I don't know if we have in here if the answer lies anywhere in here. Councillor Murray Baker, you have an answer to that?
Certain.
Okay, please turn on your mic for me. Turn on your mic.
Thank you to my, and I'm speaking from informed position
Okay, thank
as
you
a
very much.
justice of the peace and as a sitting proud member of the Jamaica Labour Party. I'll speak. Yes, I'm speaking. No, Mr. Chair, protect me.
Councillor Oliphant.
Thank you.
Councillor Oliphant.
Now, as a justice of the peace, I have assisted many persons to get their own dwelling house. They must produce ownership of land
Okay.
before any house is constructed. And if they are not the owner, then a justice of the peace with the family members, the owner of the land permission right to say that they're giving permission for them to live until they die. And that is in those letters signed by a justice of the peace. So it is their house when it is constructed.
Until they die.
Until they die. And then their family, it's theirs and their family. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for that clarification. I won't ask any other question on the matter. But page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7. We're doing well. Page 8. Page 9, page 10, there are some things on the petition, CEO, any update on them?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, in terms of the petition for the clock, we have, well, we didn't want to go the cheap way, so we're trying to get one suitable. We would have replaced it in the past and then
Yes.
having some problems. So this process is ongoing. We should receive them in short order, sir. In terms of the pictures for the members of Parliament who are local government ministers, we are in the process, Mr. Chairman. I know we would have gotten a quotation.
Okay.
Right. For the petition in regards to the remarking of the Winston Jones Highway, that letter was sent off, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Super, I just want you to follow up with the manager for NWA for me, because we have not had any traffic meeting in years. So we can know what is happening, because we want to have some other discussions about the traffic system in the town and all of that. All right, there being no other matters, so we're at page 11. May I declare matters arising close. Yes. Okay, we are at report from agencies, but I am going to be taking the superintendent of police first, then fire, then SDC, and which is the other one? Nobody else. So we are going to be taking the report from the SOUP, because the other agencies fall under the Ministry of Local Government, so they have to be here. So they can't be in any haste to leave SOUP. But I know you have other works to do, and so at this time I ask you, sir, to address us at this time, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, Your Worship. Good morning, members of the council, members of the gathering. Right, I stand here as a proud member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force this morning. And let's start
my report on
Matters
positives
referred.
that we have been experiencing in the parish thus far this year. So since the start of this year, sir, and members of the council, we are seeing a 40% reduction in our murders within the parish. We are also seeing a 42% reduction of shootings within the parish. We are seeing a 10% reduction in aggravated assault, 29% reduction, a 29% increase, in our break-ins. And I'll just pause to say that Manchester, Mandeville in particular, have always been a parish that is plagued with break-ins. And last year we made some significant inroads in the reduction of break-in offenses within the space. What we see this year happening, we are seeing a trend developing. And based on that trend, we have put some measures in place, sir, that we're now seeing a reversal in the break-in offenses within the space. As a matter of fact, just as recent as this week, we had one of our special initiatives that were out, and they, on their own observation, intercepted what we would consider to be a major break-in in the parish. The persons unfortunately escaped, but we thwarted that break-in in itself. In a general way, sir, we have seen a 12% reduction in our major crimes within the parish. So we are not where we want to be, but we are much better than last year and in previous years. What you will see from us also, sir, is our robust, active road policing activities in the space. This is our beat officer patrol system that manages the town center itself, and our OST and other operational units that manage our highways and byways. And just to put things into context, sir, I'll say that just last week it was that we had a team that was out on patrol up in the north of the parish. And they signaled a motor vehicle to stop that disobeyed, and they pursued. And they caught up the motor vehicle, searched the occupants of the vehicle, and a 9mm pistol with 13 rounds was found in that vehicle. Subsequent to that, the officers got additional information later in the night that men were seen in a particular area where the vehicle was intercepted, and they responded. When they went there, other men ran, and the police conducted a search of that particular area and found again another 9mm semi-automatic pistol loaded with 17 rounds, 2 guns and 30 rounds, and that is your local police at work in Manchester. Earlier on, thank you, Mr. Oliphant and the team. Yes. Earlier on in the day, we also had an incident where we had a robbery reported over there in Kingston, Mountain View Avenue to be exact. And we did not sit here as a team and say that is in Kingston. We activated our road policing strategies here in Manchester, and the same vehicle involved in the robbery was intercepted in Greenvale, and almost $2 million and 1 man was taken into custody. That is your police at work in Manchester.
Yeah.
So, sir, I don't have to labor or
Councillor Robinson.
go too much into detail as to what happened along Caledonia Road. We all saw what happened.
Yeah.
Not the result that we were really hoping for, but unfortunately it ended the way it did. And we are proud to say that that was the JCF at work, the JCF on show, showing what we can achieve when we collaborate, even with our external forces, to get into space. And they came in, I must say, they came in record time and gave us the necessary support, and we got the necessary resolution that we were looking for.
Okay.
So, sir, in a general way in the parish, we are doing well. I want to also to say thanks to you, sir, because we approached you to assist us with the cutting of some trees within the town center, and that was done. And because that was done, an area that we consider a blind spot for us with our Jamaica ITV television system. We had a large stick from a motor vehicle with almost $2 million, and we were able to identify the suspect and the vehicles because of the cutting of those trees. So we still have some more trees to be cut right in the town center, near the KFC there.
Yes.
So we are urging the minister to assist us where that is concerned.
Imagine. Okay. We will work on it, sir.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much, sir. So like I said, sir, in a general way, your police in Manchester is representing, and I must say it's a collaborative effort between us, our citizens, and councillors that are seated here. We appreciate the effort that we put to ensuring that what we are seeing in Manchester this time is working, and we hope that we will continue to work. I am open to any questions from the floor.
All right. I know we all have questions for the soup, but I'm going to do it in some order this morning. You may be seated, soup.
Thank you very much, sir.
So I'm going to start at the lady first.
Yes.
And come around in that order to the deputy mayor.
Thank you, Your Worship. Superintendent Duncan, I notice you avoid the touching of porous and the curfew, which expands into St. Louis now. And I was hoping you touch on that to tell us what is happening where the curfew is concerned, because people are at a loss to say that, for example, St. Louis, there's a shooting. Nobody know the shooter, nobody know the victim. And they are saying that now church can't keep at nights again. St. Louis is not so much of a hot life, but you know, they have their little nightlife. And they are concerned. Porous, the people are saying to me, to my colleague, to the mayor, why is Porous under curfew for so long? When a massive barrage of bullets and drama take place in Mandeville, and they're not under curfew. So these are the questions that are being asked, so you're the best persons to answer. I'm also concerned with the missing of our children in the island. In our parish here in Manchester, how well are we mitigating against that as police, citizens, justice, and community members, also politicians? How well can we mitigate against any more of our children going missing? How can we intervene? I am an educator, and I'm always looking at ways how to get in the brain of our children. What can you as the police now partner with us, communities, schools, and just not to make any more have this happening around us? Thank you.
All right, before you answer, I'm going to take three at a time. Councillor Smith.
Thank you, Your Worship. Good morning, everyone. I too stand as a proud member of the People's National Party.
That's the last comment on party politics, right?
Mr. Duncan, let me congratulate you on your team, sir. You're doing a wonderful job. All right, just a few on the matter of curfews. The problem we're having, or I'm having, in the Knockpatchit division, we are not aware when curfews are imposed and the areas. Got a call the other night from Bottom Albion, police just come and, oh no, lock up. It was about 2 weeks ago. I wasn't aware that a curfew was in place. No, and I told the persons that called me, all right, the police are curfew, go on a bed. Your officers, you have some officers out there who, the long and short, they don't know how to talk to people. It is a concern. I mean, you treat persons with respect and you get back respect. So please look into that, sir. Lastly, we are approaching the festive season, and we notice last is on the increase. What do you have in place for that? Community policing. Policing in school. As my colleagues say, a lot of students are missing, a lot of children are missing. Can you, or is a police or police team assigned to each school just to highlight students of some of the safety measures in coming and going from school? Those are my questions.
All right, Councillor Oliphant. Could you turn off the mics, please? Turn off yours.
Thank you,
All right, go ahead.
Chairman. Congratulations to the police, and also personal congratulations on your promotion, Sue. I have a concern, and it having to do with our children. Too many problems is having with our children. Gone missing, found dead, and all of this. I wonder what can be done in terms of policing and parenting, if there can be a partnership with the schools wherein there is something that is done so that parents can be aware of how to treat their children, because sometimes you find that what happened, the children's behavior is reflective of the home. And if we can consolidate a position with the school and the home and the police, I think we would have a good order. I wonder what can be done, my question to you.
All right, thank you. I'm going to take Councillor Evans, but if you have any more questions on children, we'd have gotten the gist of it, right? So no more children, guys. We all know what is happening and we'll get the answer from the soup. So go on, if you have another particular question.
Thank you, Chair. Congratulations on your gains in the Manchester policing space. I just want to know if there's anything you'd like to highlight about the Christian space, considering it's our next major town, another major town, if there's anything you'd like to highlight.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, Sue. You can answer those four and then we go again.
Thank you very much for those questions. All right, so start with the curfew. I really didn't avoid it, you know, but I knew it was coming, so I was giving the opportunity to ask about the curfew. All right, so let me preface my argument by saying to you all here that it is not, and absolutely not, our wish to curtail the movement of anybody, any person within this parish. Or what we want to see are persons going about their business lawfully, doing what they like doing, but in a peaceful and orderly manner. So a curfew is a tool that affords us some special privileges in areas where we find that we have an upsurge of violence in a particular space. And I'll just try and put something into context. So since we are talking about porous, let me just put something in the context. So in 2024, right, we saw on August 20th a shooting incident of a man named Javon Powell in Porous. On Saturday, September 28th, we saw the murder of Gawain Brown in Porous. On Sunday, October 5th, we saw the murder of Christopher Manning in Porous. On Monday, November 11th, 2024, we saw the murder, well, I think it was a double murder at that time, a murder along Clarkstone Road, a man named Stephen Smichael. Okay. And on Tuesday, December 3, 2024, we saw a double murder along Porous Main Road. So, with all those incidents that we saw last year, we thought it was imperative, since all these incidents based on our analysis and our intelligence were connected in some way or the other. And we believe that other persons would have been affected. So the curfew was applied for, and our Honorable Minister obliged us and granted the curfew last year. And that gave us the opportunity to police the space in a more meaningful way. And I'll say that right after the curfew was imposed, for that period between December and March of 2025, there were absolutely no crime in the Porous space. Not one murder or shooting occurred during that time. And so we made the reassessment of what was happening in Porous. And in collaboration with the stakeholders, the business community, and other community members, we opted to relieve the area of the curfew strategy. And that was going on and poorers was enjoying themselves down there. And so this year in 2025 now, we saw, fast forward, we saw now on Thursday, July 10th, we had a murder in Harmons, and Wednesday, we had a shooting, well, as the 20th of the 8th, we had a shooting in there. On the general election night, we had a murder down there, and the week after, we found another body that we know was related to the incident that happened on the election night. And so we decided that based on this and the intelligence that we have at hand, that we need to have some special measures placed within that space. And so we have done that. And since that, again, the imposition of those curfews and our policing activities, we have seen no major crime. Again, we decided that we're going to relax the curfew to allow persons to manage and go about their business freely. And no much longer that the curfew was lifted, in St. Toulis, there was another murder at the river. If you look at that murder in St. Toulis in isolation, to the untrained eyes, it may seem like an isolated murder. But to us, with the requisite skills and the intelligence that we have and the information that we're working with, we know that this has the implication to spill over also into the greater porous area. And so we have also opted to co-opt St. Toulis in our area of operations. So I end where I started first by saying that it is not our intention, it is not what we want to do in terms of curtailing people and their movement within a particular space. But at times it becomes necessary to do just that. So it comes down to two things, ladies and gentlemen. It comes down to two things, and two things only. And we have to decide how we want to move it forward. So it has to do with either lives or livelihood. That is on that point for the curfew. Your other question, madam, was not communicated the curfews. All right, so there's a standard operating policy that relates to curfews, and that is to have it promulgated in our print and electronic media, and our own CCN and our social media page. And as far as I know, that we push these things into the media for them to be promulgated. So I don't know where the break in communication takes place, but from our end, we ensure that these things are sent to the media to be promulgated for persons to be aware of the curfews. You asked also, and I think this, my answer to this will answer about 2 or 3 questions, with the children. We also are concerned about our missing children within the parish. We have at least one active investigation going on now with the young man from Manchester High School. That has been getting some serious attention. As a matter of fact, our own Commissioner of Police took the time out to drive down here just to show the level of importance that is attached to it. He and his team drove down here to Manchester to visit with the school community and other members that are related to that missing child. Our team have been out day and night, following up on all the leads that we get in order to find or to locate this young man. We have incorporated our JDF counterparts, the fire brigade, our K9 unit, our drone unit. All the agencies are working together to locate this young man. And we're sparing no effort. As we get the information, certainly we move at it. What we're doing to mitigate some of these things happening, our CSSB, our Community Safety and Security Branch persons, we have regular meetings with our school boards and our deans of discipline and principals at schools. Regular meetings. We also have what we call our school resource officers who go into these schools and ensure that certain things are communicated with the students. Also, our beat officer patrol division, that's the persons who walk the beat in Mandeville Town Centre and our town centres. They are tasked that once they see students on the road loitering, their responsibility is to intervene, find out why they are on the road, what time their school ends, why they are not home. Oftentimes we have to take some of them to our own police station to call their parents to say, this is what we observe, and the parents would come down and get them. So it is not a lack of trying on our part to ensure that the message is sent to have these persons off the street as soon as they leave school at a convenient time, them leaving school and getting home, or getting to school on time. And I think that will cover the question about the children. In Christiana, our second busiest town within the parish, we also have in recent times sent in that space because we saw that we had some challenges up there. So as part of what we want to do to mitigate the crime happening in that space, we have deployed a part of our operation support team up in that space. That means they have a quick response up there, so they don't have to depend on persons moving from Mandeville to get into the Christiana space. We also took into consideration that KFC is open in that space. We know what is going to be happening going into the Christmas. So our plans are well on the way as to how we're going to treat with what obtains in that space. But yes, we are giving some consideration to increased policing activities in the Christiana space. And might I add that even when we talk about the homicides in the parish, sir, unlike last year where we saw some amount of gang activities in the space that were perpetrating these murders, we are not seeing that this year, and that is not by chance. That is by us targeting these gangs and the gangsters and the means by which they funded their gangs. So some have been arrested one way or the other. Some have been displaced outside of the space. So what we are seeing now, sir, are a plethora of murders that are interpersonal in nature, right? And just to put that into context, so we have also some domestic disputes. So we have seen, and I'll tell you about two murders. One where it was an uncle and nephew as to who is to tie their cow where to feed, and that caused a dispute, and somebody was killed outside of that. Then another one with cousins and cousins as to who was to plant their potato slips where, and we saw a murder coming out of that. So the murders that we're having this year, sir, are murders that are interpersonal in nature for the most part. And our CSSB department also, and our PIU and CIB are working earnestly with our stakeholders to ensure that the message is sent as to how to resolve these disputes when we have them in our space.
All right, thank you. On the same matter, sir? You may sit, Soup.
Two of my questions, I'm not sure if the Soup overlooked them. The one with the officer dealing with the public and the Preda lastly.
Thank you for reminding me. All right, so Preda lastly. So recently, our Commissioner of Police and the team, we have established what we call our agricultural protection branch, agricultural protection branch, and they have been decentralized, and we also have a team in Area 3, and we also have our team in Manchester. We have made some significant arrests over the past couple of months because of our road policing activities and the enforcement of some stringent measures that have been put in place in terms of the last act as it relates to persons moving with animals on the road being tagged, untagged, and the licensing and all these things. So there is a robust approach in terms of Preda lastly. As a matter of fact, the branch was established just for this particular reason, and we are tapping into that. So we know that there are issues in this space. And Patrick space is impacted, over in Cottage is impacted, Christiana is impacted. So we know the spaces that we need to concentrate, and we're doing some work around it. As it relates to the officers and how they treat with members of the public, that is certainly not the way we brief our officers to deploy them. With our public interaction policy at the forefront of my mind is something that we preach to our officers, that when you interact with members of the public, it must be very, very respectful. And in most times we tell them also, it doesn't matter how they want to speak to you, you have a responsibility as to how to treat with them. So if there is a particular incident that you want to bring to my attention, Councillor, then let me know, and certainly I will definitely deal with that personally.
All right, Councillor Knight.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Duncan, for your report and for the improvement in terms of safety in the parish. But I have a concern in regards to the amount of persons that are coming in our country, we call it deportees. And they sometimes used to a certain lifestyle where they are coming from. And that getting that here, then they turn to crime. Do the police have a registry of persons who coming into the country having serving their time or charged for dangerous crime overseas and just come into our country, and especially our parish, where you can keep a track of these people, and not when something happened, we hear that this man was involved in this and that. But you would have known from before that this man is a dangerous man. So the police have to keep tracking this person. In regards to the crime that took place down in Caledonia Road, when we heard of his resume, then it was after. It was after we heard that this man was a dangerous man. And so I would have imagined that the police would have gotten some information as to track these people and to allow us to be in a more safer space. Because sometimes they come right to our doorstep and we don't even know, you know? And the police don't know, right? That's one. How about the vehicles? Do we have enough police vehicles to maneuver the parish? So when we call the police, we don't have a problem in vehicle. How do we stay in that area?
Don't answer yet, Super. Coming to you. I need 3 more. Go ahead, Councillor Mitchell.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Turn off your mic, Councillor Knight.
Thank you, Your Worship. Good morning to everyone. The Chairman has prayed your indulgence as I have another question on the matter of the children, because I think our children are suffering and our children are in crisis. So I have follow-up questions on the matter of the kids. One, the matter of the schoolgirl from Christiana who was murdered, I would like an update. There have been speculation about the father being involved. The update, please. Secondly, Chairman, the matter of young Jaden from Manchester High. I want to dig a little bit deeper. When there was there's about half dozen or 3 to half dozen young persons, students who are missing across Manchester itself. I would have preferred to have an update on that. But when I looked at one of the suicides that took place, and when I read the comments under that post, you can see where the nation is actually failing our students. About 50% of the students who commented, and those are students themselves, who commented that they are going to be next. And I don't know if somebody followed up, I don't know if the ministry followed up or the police followed up, but students commented that they feel the same way and they feel that that is a way out. And we have a crisis. And when I think we have looked at the situation wrong, we are guidance counselors, dean of disciplines would have think that it's, and the students who are hurting are actually disciplinary matters. A lot of them are mental health issues and we have a mental health crisis that we need to address. So the question I have that it pertains to Jaden, for example, does the investigation show that probably Jaden maybe was facing abuse or anything of the sort? Because somehow there have been multiple sightings. Somehow, as people will say, he seems to be hiding from something or someone. So we need to have some clarity. And the matter, Chairman, also of suicides, that seems to be of a serious crisis. There was about 4 or some suicides over the space of the last month. There was one in Craighead, maybe the last 48 hours. What are the mechanisms the police putting in place to see how best we can do, because we need some collective efforts. I remember as a young person, Chairman, I remember I used to see my pastors, my police, my health aid officers and such forth walking through the community and exactly checking out what is happening in the space. What we're allowed to happen now is that people are allowed to do the harm, people are allowed to commit the suicides, and then we go in after the fact. I just want to know if the police have some measures in place as to how we deal with it. What are the demographics that is facing this suicidal thoughts? Is it a middle-age crisis? Is it the young persons? Is it the professionals? Is it the unemployed? And if there are any things in place that can deal with the matter.
Yes. All right, I want to commend you and the team for the good work you're doing thus far. There was an incident last week in my area, in Top Greenville, where there was a student that was missing. And she was returned to the parent within less than 48 hours. So, and the team went out. She was in Newport, a matter of fact. And the response was very quick. Very quick. So I really commend you and the team for the excellent work that you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I must also add my congratulations to the team for the decrease in major crimes. And I am asking for increased policing in the Alligator Pond space. More spot checks. I'm seeing too many incidents of speeding, unruly behavior happening right from the main gutters to Alligator Pond. We would regret to have any incident to say the policing is not beefed up in that area. I would love to see them more. Also, I want us not to just stop vehicles, but stop some people who are strangers in the zones. The residents, I don't know why they're not calling the police, they are calling me to say strange men are lurking in unfinished buildings, dilapidated settings. Check them out, so get your team to check them out. Because some of them are posing as if they are mentally challenged. They are posing as if they are madmen. And there was an incident close to Oswald Seafood the other day when visitors were heading there to consume their favorite seafood. And they were attacked by one of these same persons who posed as a madman with stones and other debris hurling at them. So it is at a crisis level with these persons coming into the area, and we don't know where they are from, but they are not being checked out. So if it's a case that they need to go into the mental homes, and I'm glad my colleague Councillor touched on that, because the mental health situation, it is climbing in our country, and we need to seek help wherever the help is. Thanks.
Question on the deportees. So yes, we do have a monitoring system for deportees, particularly criminal deportees. So, you know, we don't want to stereotype everybody who is deported. But we have a monitoring system for criminal deportees within the JCF. And I believe it is working efficiently and very, very effectively. It is not to say that the Caledonia Road incident, that person has never been brought to our notice, right? However, it's an active investigation where that one is concerned, so I won't delve too much into it. But just to answer your question in short, that yes, we certainly do have a monitoring system for deportees. As it relates to vehicles, I've been a policeman for 34 years now, and I can't recall ever a time where we had all the vehicles that we want to have in the police force, that we would like to have. However, there is a real effort to ensure that stations and units are outfitted with vehicles. And in our parish, we ensure that every police station have at least one vehicle to respond to any event. And because we have a response time commitment to our citizenry, so we ensure that we have vehicles at stations to respond. I remember Alligator Pond came here bawling for vehicles, and we got a vehicle over there to them in Alligator Pond. I remember, but I know Alligator Pond want another one. We hear the persons from Cottage crying for a vehicle, and we ensure that vehicles are sent to these locations. So we are not short on vehicles, but we could do with some more vehicles within the parish. Other question, update on the Christiana incident. So that is probably one of the most unfortunate scenes that I've ever had to deal with in my 34 years career. 13 years old, child remains found burnt in a refrigerator. And our detectives are working assiduously to bring some level of closure to what is happening. And I want us to take this appeal to say that persons, anybody here or listening, and can implore the young lady's father, Mr. Lawrence Sargent. He is somebody we believe can help us in advancing our investigation. So we are asking him just please to make contact with us at the Christiana police station or at the Municipal police station. The investigation, it's in a very, very early stage, although we have been gathering a lot of and depending heavily right now on forensic evidence, and a lot of it, I might add. So not much more to say on that, but we are well advanced in our investigation, but it can take us a little bit further if we get to speak to our father. Not sure if I am in a position to really speak on the mental capacity of persons and persons who opt to commit suicide, but just from a personal perspective, personal standpoint, I'll just say that I will encourage persons that when they are so challenged with the thought of taking their own lives, to just seek counseling, seek persons, reach out to people who you believe can help you, your pastors, your counselors, and your teachers, your local police officers. At our police station, our community safety and security branch, we have trained counselors and peer counselors that can assist in these regards. So I'm just saying that if it is that you're harboring thoughts of suicide, you can also reach out to us as a police force, and certainly we can give some level of guidance and assistance in that regard. Jaden, asked for an update with Jaden is concerned and if he was being abused. We don't have any information to suggest that he was being abused where he was. What we find though, Councillor Mitchell said that a lot of sightings of Jaden, and we're not sure if these are really sightings of Jaden. We have heard persons saying, oh, they thought they saw him and it was mistaken identity and all these things. And we have been getting a lot of prank calls about Jaden. So I also want to use this opportunity to tell persons out there that just put yourself in the parents of this young man. And if you intend to make a prank call, just look at the far-reaching effect that it can have on these persons. So I'm just imploring you to desist from making those calls. If you see Jaden, we want to know where Jaden is. But if you don't see him, we can understand that also. As it relates now to A-Pond and the speeding, sir, we take your concern about the speeding along that roadway, and certainly we will put some things in place to mitigate against that from happening. I am happy to know that persons are calling you when they see strange persons in the area, so I'm going to implore you to just call me when that happens so we can take the necessary action where that is concerned. Thank you.
All right. Councillor Price.
So I just have two questions. And Jaden, if it is security, you don't have to answer. I know there was some, well, I spoke to the auntie, because she's very close to me. Jaden is very, very close to me. I know him from about 3 days old or something. I spoke to the auntie last week, and she was saying the police could not get the footage from Little Caesar. And the other thing, have the police sit down with not the auntie, the mother of Jaden. And just have a sit down with her and find out where her headspace is. And then, when you finish, we can tell you something outside.
One other thing too is, I think you need to tell the people that if children go missing or people go missing and you hide them or keep them, you're culpable.
Oh, certainly.
So I don't hear that piece going out yet, you know. That's what I think we need to tell people. Go ahead, Councillor.
No questions, sir.
Not for you, Councillor.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Worship. Straight out of Greenville. Thank you, Your Worship. So, proudly from out of Greenville. So, I'd like to extend congratulations to you and your appointment. All of us put in the work to ensure that whatever field that we venture in, we try to reach as far and as high as possible. So, congratulations to you on that. As it relates to the Greenville space, I can assure you that the residents of Greenville continue to work to ensure that the crime in the parish is on a downward trajectory. We had one murder over the past 2 years in Greenville, and that was solved and the person is in custody. And as a result of your community policing and the relation that we have as a community, we have 0 incidents since that one incident. So I'd like to implore you to keep the police presence in the Greenville community because we welcome it. And we have disrupted the narrative and we are going in the right direction. So thanks for your support and hope that we can continue that relationship that we have.
Deputy Mayor.
To the police, men and women, they are doing an excellent job in protecting us. I think the spotlight now is on children, and sometimes we tend to blame everybody else other than ourselves. You know, as a teacher who have to interact with students every day, they need proper parenting. We're seeing the breakdown in the home. And we want to blame the police, we want to blame the pastor, we want to blame the politician. But we need to pay more attention to parenting and to the students. You know, they must be equipped with not only their roles, but also their responsibilities. We are living in a technological world, and everybody wants to be on TikTok and everything on social media. And it is not good. In other parts of the world, they are using social media to get rich, to do invention for educational purpose. We use it for gossiping and spreading all kinds of bad news. And these are some of the things that our students are exposed to in the home. So I think we need, instead of blaming the police, the politician, and the pastor, we need to zero in on our parents. Right? Some of them are children themselves and are misleading their children. Police can do so much and no more. But an area that I think you can help us with is what I've seen in the town and Mandeville town and along the main roads is the illegal vending. I don't know if you can assist us in that and illegal parking. All right, thank you.
I can understand it. Should be a Omar, but I don't think it's a big Omar. Yes, I just want to thank the police as it relates to the work that they have been doing. And, you know, I remember last year when DSP Duncan was at our meeting here, we were having challenges as it relates to, you know, crime
and the parties and all of that. And so we are here 1 year now celebrating, as I say, crime is on the reduction. We want to keep it that way. And I also believe that preventative measure is important than being reactive. And so as it relates to having the community meetings, we continue having the community meetings. We look forward to having that community meetings with the police to maintain that level of comfort that we are enjoying now and to continue. And so we will continue to work together. And I know in the north, the officers there are doing a exceptionally good job, and we continue to support them. But as it relates to the CC cameras, I think there was some time ago we had some discussion as it relates to a public-private partnership in terms of getting some more cameras. I would want to see that we react that and continue to have some of these cameras in place, because I know it do help. And so continue doing the job that you're doing, sir. We support you.
I wish to raise with you. One is exposing of goods for resale. When earlier in the year we had some great help with the police in terms of these persons that are selling on our roadways, especially right around the Park Crescent there to the Santa Cruz or so taxi stand, and further down on Manchester Road going down towards the stoplight. The problem is that the motorists are quarreling, because when our officers or municipal police, and we are trying to build up our numbers, it's just that there are certain things you have to do first before you can employ them. We have to check with you to see if them are right and all of them stuff. So we're doing some of that work. But I'm wondering if there's any help now, because things are really, really getting back out of hand. I mean, when our municipal police goes off for lunch, as soon as their backs are turned, the entire streets are taken up with vendors. Children can't walk properly. People can't walk, go about their business. I mean, at 5 o'clock or 5:15, the entire streets, the park circle there, people hang clothes all about on it, and it is not supposed to be happening. And most of these persons are not from Manchester. And the problem is that some of our municipal police or some of the persons are afraid, because we don't know who these persons are and the way they behave, to create a little problem. And this is not Mandeville. This is not some other place. This is Mandeville, where people are expecting better from us. And residents will write in, residents will complain, and there's not much we can do except we can get some other help from the police in doing what we have to do. Earlier, Councillor Kennedy raised a point of illegal vending, or that on our highways, our road, especially between Greenville and Williamsville. It is a zero approach, zero tolerance. The people have to get off the thing, because when motor vehicles, if anything happened to these motor vehicles, they can't pull off the road. People are parked there, the businesses are being run all along the roadways. And so we have to look at an approach, because the citizens are quarreling, the citizens are writing us, and we look as if we can't do anything or there's nothing we can do. But things can be done, but we need more help from the police. On the matter of porous and the curfew, I don't know. Other things were said about the curfew and all of that, but my understanding that the victim is not from Manchester, that is from other parish and whatever it is, I don't know. But I want you to, in looking at the way forward, sir, you know, the festive season coming up and life is hard and all of that, to see how best we can help these people. Again, I am not saying that there's nothing that we can do, but it's to see how best we can work it out in whatever way. I'm not a policeman, I don't have all the intelligence, etc. But for me, I think 7 o'clock is a little bit early for businesses to clear up the street, because school sometimes and other businesses and supermarkets and all of that. People even work at 5 o'clock. What it does is that the businesses and these people have to close early, and children have to go to school. School fees are expensive. And so I want to look at the times and what can happen. I'm not instructing the police because I can't do that, but I'm just asking that we look at whatever amicable ways we can help to solve the situation where that is concerned. Let me see if there's one more there. You never state for us the boundaries of the curfew area, because I don't know what the boundaries are. So I'm going to ask you if you can just reiterate what the boundaries are for us. And I just want one thing to say to everybody. Mental health is everybody's problem. There's a thin line between sanity and insanity. Whether it's husbands or wives or children or all of that. But my only caution or my only thing to you is that what I've found is that 3/4 of these persons who commit suicide don't know the Lord. They're far from in church. So you have to stick to the church and seek some assistance from the church. No, the pastors have to get out and go do some work. Right? It can't be just the teachers and all of that, because teachers are human beings too and they go through some problems too. Right? And check the justices of the peace. Right? Right, Councillor? Right. Thank you. Go ahead.
So the question was asked about the sightings of the media. And since we got the report of the missing person, as part of our investigation, we certainly were canvassing Mandeville Town Centre and its outskirts. And yes, we have seen where Jaden visited some areas in the Mega Mart, in the Bankhouse Mall. He was seen on camera. Very vibrant and active young man. And I just want to reiterate that really it would bring some solace to me that we could find this young man at this time. Yes, sir, we have spoken to his family members and we have debriefed and briefed them. So that is part of our investigation. Greenville, I thank you very much for your comments, Councillor, from Greenville. And yes, you know that we had some intervention up here. We had some community meetings that you were invited to. And we met with the people of Greenville. And we had a walk through in Greenville. And truth be told, Greenville was one of our hotspots in Manchester for a very long time. And to this point, I just really want to commend the person in Greenville for holding the peace in that space.
All right, Councillor.
So I just want to commend them and just hope that they will just maintain that level of peace in that space. Legal vending. So the question was asked about the legal vending, and I say it's a twofold. So two questions answered to the mayor. Now earlier on this year, sir, you will know that we really was making some inroads in the anti-vending initiatives that we had going, and it was a partnership between the municipal police and our police officers. Let me look back at it to see where the breakdown took place, sir, and see how best we can tighten the partnership to ensure that we get back to where we were earlier in the year at the police anti-vending initiatives. And that's not only for Mandeville, but that expands both into Christian and Spalding also. You asked about the curfew in Chorus, and let me just again say, sir, that the movements of the person is not, or the limited movement is not our way. And as far as our intel, as long as our intelligence points us in the direction that, listen, we can relax. Nothing in terms of security measures are cast in stone. They're always up for review. And we review these curfews daily. Every day we sit down as a team and we look at what is happening, how best we can approach it, whether we're going to ask that or do not apply for it to continue or whatever. But we certainly will be looking at what entails down here. And as long as we are comfortable that things are back to some level of normalcy, then certainly, sir, we will look at how we treat with that. CCTV, coming out about the CCTV. Yes, sir. So the CCTV assists us greatly in Mandeville. And I know it is on our agenda to have the CCTV expanded down into Porus and also up in the north in Christiana. So that is something that is on the book. But that's a policy decision, so we don't have to wait until that one happens. But the recommendation have been made, and we have also told them about the successes that we are seeing with it in this space. So we are very hopeful that they will accede to the request. And so, sir, you asked about the bounds of the curfew.
Yeah.
So the bounds of the curfew as it is now in Porus. So the northern boundary is bordered by Clarkstown district, east along an imaginary line from the intersection of the Toll Road and Melrose district, 56 meters to a section of the Porus main road in the vicinity of Whitney Turn. East turn boundary is bordered by Whitney Turn district, south along an imaginary line, 344 meters from the northern boundary at a section of Porus main road to a section of the main road at Old Porus district. Southern boundary bordered by Old Porus district, westerly along an imaginary line from the eastern boundary, 3753 meters to a section of the main road, western boundary at the Trinity district. The western boundary bordered by Trinity district, northerly along an imaginary line from Trinity district at southern boundaries, 583 meters to the northern borders at intersection at the Toll Road and Melrose district. So that's for the general Porus area. And for St. Toulis, our northeastern boundary, east along an imaginary line from a vegetated area in a Scots Pass community, that's 1,400 meters to a vegetated area. The southeastern is southwesterly along an imaginary line, that's 3,200 meters from the northeastern boundary at an area of vegetation at St. Toulis district. The southern western, northwesterly along an imaginary line from southeastern boundary, 2,400 meters to a vegetated area at St. Toulis district. And the northwestern, northeasterly along an imaginary line from the southwestern boundary, 3,200 meters to the northeastern boundary. So those are the coordinates for the curfew at this time, sir.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that for us and its environment, in particular at this time, that the next time I meet with you, sir, or whether formal or in an informal setting, I am placed in a position where I can say to you that I'm comfortable with what is happening for us, and we are not going to apply for the imposition of curfew within that space. Generally, I want to say to the team here for the commendations, I accept it with gratitude on behalf of the team of the Manchester Police. I really appreciate the commendation, and we will continue to work in Manchester to ensure that not that only Manchester is the coolest part in Jamaica, but it also becomes the safest part in Jamaica. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I know, but finally from me, sir. It's yeah, because it's just last week or the week before they said I should write to you and ask you to come meet with us. But since they're here, so I put in everything one time. The matter of places of amusement coming up now in the festive season. What is it that needs to be done now? Because what is going to be happening as night follows day is that in any 1 week I might have about 60, 70 applications and all of that. One of the things I find too is that when people apply, they get from you your thing like Friday morning or Friday evening when the office is closed here for them to come pay. What can be done? How can we help to make it a little bit easier for these persons who get in the permit, because in Friday, even if you tell them they're not getting it, the pot is on the fire, the chicken are fried, the soup are cooked, all of that are gone, but them get it, I hear said that there is no permit. And I will just reiterate, sir, at the risk of it, is that there are still some areas in Mandeville that we don't give permission, and we're not supposed to be giving permission for. Anywhere that there are no bathrooms available to the public should not be made into a space for public amusement. No parties and no dance. And the blocking up of the roads. Yes, sir.
Chairman, thank you. It's not after we have both DSP, that is, and Superintendent Duncan. But Chairman, just to follow up on a little bit on the vending issue. It's coming up to the festive season, so I want to ask you two. Do we have increased personnel coming for the Christmas season in terms of police personnel? Secondly, I keep my ears close to the ground, and from what I'm hearing from a little birdies, that there have been a drastic rise in pickpockets and some small petty thefts been happening in around the Mandeville space. That is so.
Councilman, you have something you want to say about that?
I don't know if maybe it was mentioned, but as it relates to the scammers, is there a reduction? You seen any reduction in the scamming? I don't know if it was discussed earlier on, because I can tell you, it is real enough. And I wouldn't say I was a victim. I was almost a victim of the scamming. And I just want everyone to know that it is real. It is real. And my incident, it could have happened to anyone. Right? It's not like I would have received a call. Let me talk.
Councillors.
It's not that I would have received a call to say that I would have won something. Right? I received a call maybe about a week or a few days after the general election.
Them know you have money, man, sure. Them know say that money.
And they were saying to me, boy, what a victory. But when I look at the call came from a prominent member of my party, right, on the WhatsApp. So the picture was up and so forth, and we were having a discussion. And the person sounded like that person, everything. And until the following day, the person called me again, and we started to talk again. And I said to the individual that I'm in the process of putting a export facility together, and I'm seeking I want equipment for the thing. And he said, what? I can't get you, I have a lines, you know, I can assist you in that department and so. And so I said, yeah man, and I quoted a price that I was getting elsewhere. And he called me back and said, listen, you're in luck because I can't get one for you cheaper, far cheaper, as a matter of fact, half the price. And so I was really excited. And so I was told to meet him at his office. But he said to me that he was going to be in a meeting, so he might send a bearer. But where the argument reach a point now where it start get concerned is when he wanted the direct cash. And I was saying, but we could do a transfer, and you know, he said, no, it have to be cash. So you have to go to the bank and after that discussion, I drew the money.
Well, you had money, man.
I drew the money. Seriously, I drew the money. But on the way now, I start to get uncomfortable with everything. And so when he called me and said, where you are now? I said, I'm at such and such. He said, oh, I'm heading into such and such meeting, but the bureau would meet you. So I flipped, because it was on the WhatsApp call, so I flipped to the video call because I want to see the person now to ensure that it's the same person that I know. And the person said to me, he didn't pick up the video call. And so afterwards, he called me back straight. I said, why you didn't pick up the video call? He said, no man, so he called me straight now, you know. We were on the WhatsApp. He called me straight and I said, no man, I just step out. Because I remember I said, two we are swearing the big man, and so on and so on. And I said, but I'll see you at the swearing. And I said, no, but this. So when maybe about an hour after, right, he called me back and said, where are you? And I said, I'm not there, you know. But I hear the PM speaking. But at that time, the PM was not speaking. So I don't know. So I said to the person that was with me, I said, no man, something is wrong here. Something is wrong here. So he said, you don't believe that I'm there. So he took a picture. So the picture that he took, apparently he took on one half of the social media with the same individual in a one nice jacket suit. And said, see me here, what's up? So I said back to him now when I called him. But I said, I don't see anybody in the crowd. I don't see the man stand up by himself. He said, it's me, man. So I said, no, man, it don't look, I don't comfortable. I'm not comfortable. Anyway, I called him back now on the video call, and he's still not responding. I said, no. So what I did now, I made a call now to another friend, another high-profile man. I said, give me a number for John Brown. And when the number came up, it was a different number. When I called John Brown, he said, no man, I hope, you know, because I tired to go to police station because something will happen more than once. So
Anyway.
I went back to the bank. I make sure that I put it back in the bank. But the long and short of it is that scamming is real. And it could have been easily, I could have been easily intercepted because I could have find a way, whatever. So I don't know if there are persons who are reporting the same incidents or some of these incidents as they go on. But I know this scamming is real, and we just want to hear a little bit on that.
All right. Okay, so just wrap it up for us now with that very last comment.
Yes, all right. So on the issue of the permits, so we have a system where we ask the persons to apply at least 10 days prior to the event. And our turnaround time is usually 7 days, all things being equal, 7 days. So within 7 days, the persons should know if they will be granted the permit or not. And that is enough time for them to make an appeal if the permit is denied. So abnormal circumstance, I say that it might go over to 8 or 9 days. But usually when it goes to that point, we have to take responsibility that we did not give the turnaround time. So in most cases, we usually grant the permits for the persons. As it relates to scamming, I don't want to say I'm happy that you can say that it happened, but the truth is, it is real. And in my previous statement, I did say that last year we had a lot of gang activities, and it was fueled mainly by proceeds from the lottery scamming activities. That has gone down significantly in the parish because we took a serious drive and jab at that, and we brought in our experts from the lottery scamming task force. We came in, we made several arrests, seized a lot of money, seized a lot of vehicles. So we put them on their back feet in the parish. So yes, it has happened somewhat.
Yes, sir. Tell them about the pickpockets and the plans for Christmas.
Okay, yeah. So pickpockets, Mandeville, we do get that. But as we say, we also make a lot of arrests where that is concerned, because pickpockets in Mandeville are usually habitual persons whom we know are persons of ill repute where that is concerned. And that is the importance of our CCTV camera system. So we use that to our advantage, and we have been making significant inroads where that is concerned. As it relates to our festive Yuletide season, certainly we usually get external support to man our streets, highways, byways, because usually there are some offices that are closed during that time. So persons, our commissioner in his wisdom would have said that these persons are to come into the local spaces and give those support. So this year is not different from any. We expect to have that level of external support in Mandeville to man the era for the season.
Okay. Thank you very much, Soup. I'm sure the councillors would have given their questions and we have received answers. So moving forward, you'll get Soup will come here every now and then, or you know, Miss Lloyd is always here with us like the poor. So I'm glad you came this morning so that we could get some answers. Because sometimes when it's rough, I tell them don't kill the bearer. Wait until the right person comes. But it's good that we could get some answers this morning. So we look forward to the continued collaboration with the police, especially moving into the Christmas season. There's one item we have to discuss, you know, but I don't know if I want Soup, any input from the Soup, the 1 week clamping and all of that. Huh? Because I know Soup may have to leave, but I don't know if he has an input in it. Well, I mean, because this deals with something, but yeah, just bear with me, councillors. We just take this one and then we go back to the other one today.
All right, yes, Mr. Chairman, I have here a memorandum from the Manager of Revenue Collection and Compliance. It says it's regards to towing of clamp vehicles. So the corporation at its regular monthly meeting of the Municipal, Commercial Services, Agriculture and Local Economic Development Committee held on Tuesday, September 16, 2025, discussed the caption matter. The committee recommended that clamped vehicles should be towed away after 2 hours of being clamped. The same is being referred to the General Council Committee for approval.
So the reason I raise this, Soup, is that I don't know what's your input on the matter of towing or not. If there's any law against us getting our own towing truck to our company to move these vehicles. I don't know, because I want to make sure that we're in the right. We don't have any problem when people start suing us left, right, and center. Because one of the things I know, there are persons who come park up in some of our car parks or along the roadway and gone. They're working in Kingston, they're working in whatever it is, and then leave them for the entire day and come back in the evening for them. So when we clamp them, or clamp is wasted for the entire day, what we want to do now is that after 2 hours of clamping them, if the persons don't come, we are going to be sending them to an area where after we clamp them, they have to go there to retrieve it. So I don't know, whatever.
All right, so allow me to dedicate myself where it is concerned. I'll get back to you on it. But I believe as an interim measure, if you collaborate with us, because if persons are parked in areas that are considered to be no parking zones or parking in a manner that is obstructing the traffic and all that, then so for as an interim measure, let us have that partnership, because it is important to us also.
Okay.
Right? Because these persons usually impede the free flow of traffic in this place. So let us collaborate in the interim, and I'll get back to you on the legality.
Yeah. There's one matter why we are going to be trying to praise yourself. It's a matter of, we started it when Superintendent Cameron was here. We're supposed to have done some research and all that in terms of the days of the week and the times of the day that delivery is made in the town center. It is total chaos some days, especially up in the Park Crescent area and on race course. So we want to also have that discussion, which times of the day, because it speaks to a constable from the Jamaica Constabulary Force and all that. But you can do your research and then we'll just have the discussion and we see what can go forward. Because the traffic in the town sometimes is because of the entire persons just backing up and trucks backing up left, right, and center to deliver goods. All right? All right, so Mr. Fire.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, councillors, members of other agencies, members of the media, students, teachers, good morning.
Morning.
I am Assistant Superintendent Ricardo Dyer. I'll be giving this report on behalf of Superintendent Nida. This report represents an overview of emergency operations and administrative activities of the Manchester Division of the Jamaica Fire Brigade for the month ending September 30th, 2025. Division responded to 65 calls for the month of September. That equal the number of calls we responded to in August. The breakdown is as follows. Genuine calls 42, malicious false alarm 4, and that's a huge reduction compared to the month before. False alarm with good intent 3, special service calls 12, motor vehicle crashes 4. And Mr. Chair, I would like you to bear in mind those numbers for special service and motor vehicle crash, as I will tie them into a section on the third page.
Let me see that.
Classification of genuine fires. We had 10 residential fires, we had 1 commercial fire, we had 4 rubbish fires, 22 bush fires, 1 motor vehicle fire, and 4 electrical fires. There were 10 responses for dwelling house fires in September, accounting for 3 adults being homeless. The estimated loss, risk, and sale for the period of September 2025 is as follows. Estimated property at risk was 868 million. Estimated loss was 30 million. Estimated for,
one minute, Mr. Dyer, because I'm a little bit confused because I have here a report that says August 2025 report, and the figures are not the same.
That's what he presented.
What you're presenting now is the one last time. Look, just look at this for me.
This is from last.
But it says August. Okay. No. Just look at this for me, so that we can make sure. Just look at that for me. Just give me a minute. Those numbers would have, are the ones that are in the report already?
Yes, I think this, Mr. Chair, this was the August report.
Okay, so all right, good. All right. All right, thanks. So this is August. You can continue.
Yes, estimated value of property saved would have been 837 million. Now, Mr. Chair, the incidents, the major incidents, we had 8 of those. We had a dwelling house on September 2nd at Daly's Grove Royal Flat. Now, that report, that call address would have been identical to one we attended previous month, the 29th. I think there is a situation there, a family situation where the house was for the second time lived by somebody there, and that one is under investigation. 1 apartment dwelling house in Litchfield, that one is a suspected arson, that is also under investigation. On September 5th, 1 shop, commercial building at Baptist Road, Mandeville, Manchester. There is a loss of 12 million and a risk of 300 million. That one also is under investigation by our team. On September 14th, an 8-room dwelling house, 14th Street, Greenfield, Manchester. That one we had, that is also a suspected arson case that is also under investigation. 18th of September, 8 apartment dwelling house in Coleyville. That one, the risk was 8 million and the loss was 8 million, the house was total. For the 24th of September, there was a 3-story dwelling house in Succeed. The loss was 2.8 million, the risk was 200 million. For the 25th of September, 2-story dwelling house at Lower River, Battersea, Trelawney, and we respond to that area as well, Mr. Chair. The loss was 400,000, the risk was 60 million. And on September 26th, there was a 3-story dwelling house at French Park in Manchester. The loss was 5 million, the risk was 8 million. Mr. Chair, we would have recognized that some of these areas where the house fires are, there for the past recent 2-3 months, we'd have had repeated house fire calls in those areas. And we are looking to going into those districts to sensitize some of those persons there. We hope to partner with SDC as we usually do to piggyback on some of their meetings that they usually have in those areas. Also, Mr. Chair, coming from, well, our units is as was reported the last minute meeting. We have 1 pump in Christiana, 1 in Mandeville. We have a water tender for the period of September. We had a water tender in Mandeville. The water tender is now relocated to Christiana, being that we have a situation where water is a very, very big issue there.
Okay.
And the uptick in house fires on that side. Our rescue tender, which was out, is now back in Manchester, in Mandeville.
Okay.
And it will be now being utilized again for the purpose of motor vehicle accidents and other specialized situations. For the fire prevention section, they continue to provide public education on fire and life safety, also to promote safety standards including code compliance, plan review, hydrant maintenance, public education, and enforcement. These activities compared to September, compared to the previous month, are shown on the overlay. Now, code compliance, we matched the 52 of last month. We had 15 building plans, subdivision plans approved were 6, hydrant inspected were 2. In my last report, I would have reported that our hydrant inspection would have been completed. However, we would have requested, or we would have received some requests to inspect some hydrants that were of concern from members here, and we would have doubled our effort and check on those hydrants. In response to that, some of these hydrants, the amount of work that is to be done in Manchester requires a far more, let me say, from a broader picture where it requires the board's authorization for the amount of work to be done in Manchester. Since the general election, the fire brigade, the board for the Jamaica Fire Brigade is not back, and that is putting a damper on how fast we can address those issues with the hydrants. Hopefully that will be resolved soon and we can go ahead. We recommended 4 hydrants for the period. We did 25 lectures, 8 earthquake fire drills, 3 community engagements. We attended 2 special seminars. We are currently doing 2 fire investigations. Tour of specialized, our special risk areas, we did 5 of those tours. Interaction with the public, we did 1,000 interaction with the public. Building certified, we did 19 certifications. Now, Mr. Chair, permit issues. I heard you mention the issues of permit, and I would have made mention of the special service and motor vehicle crashes number at the front of the report. Now, we're realizing that we are getting a number of calls where persons are coming from these events, and we are getting calls of motor vehicle accidents, and for some of these events we are not aware of these events being held. Being the primary responders as it relates to stampedes and search and rescue and these motor vehicle accidents, we, the fire brigade, we are not in the know of these events being held. Only 1 permit came in, but a number of events would have been held over the period of time. These special service calls, usually those ones would have been accidents where, or crashes where oil or other things come from as a result of those accidents, and would have gone to clean up on some of those. So the crashes, which is 4, and the special service calls, they literally, for the most part, are the same things. Same thing. The only time we record it as a crash is when we actually have to go and do extrication and remove persons. So we'd like to be notified of some of these events, and just like other events, other major events, we would beef up our staff as it relates to when we know that there are large events being held in the parish.
Okay.
So that is a concern of the fire brigade as it relates to us not knowing about some of these events. And we do operate with an appropriate staff, but when these events are, we normally beef up our staff. So it'd be good to be in the know as it relates to some of these events. I'm not sure of the policy as it relates to granting the permits. I know some persons come to the fire brigade, some don't. I don't know if it is mandatory for all the events or just some of the events. I know the areas that are designated areas like the clubs that are already certified, those would not require coming to the fire brigade, but the others that are not, we are of concern as it relates to those, Mr. Chair. That is the end of my report. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you too, sir. Any questions? But before the questions, I'd have to do some research too, because based on the events you're talking about, what size events those would be, and if we need to get a report from you, because I know at one time, for certain events, we need to get a report from you if their entrance and exit are clearly marked and all of those stuff. But we'll have some discussions and then we can see where we go from there. Councillor Mario?
Thank you, Your Worship. Just to say, sir, I support you. I was going to start on that point about the larger events, extremely large events, that they should be notified. And I'm talking from experience. Secondly, sir, can you tell me the funeral arrangements if they are ready for Mr. Livingston, if they are ready?
Okay. The funeral, we have a tentative date for the 8th of November. We are waiting on his next of kin to finalize. That was the date selected and chosen. And we are waiting on the next of kin and the senior management of the fire brigade, because Mr. Marlowe will be offered an official funeral, and that requires a number of moving parts, but the tentative date is the 8th of November.
Okay.
Chairman, a follow-up. The festive season again is one that is not eventful here. Thank you, Councillor Robinson. Normally eventful. And the Winston Jones Highway was redone. And I just want, we have put in some pressure, and I think it was also mentioned by the CEO, acting CEO. Can you help us to put some pressure on NWA to see how best they can put in the reflectors or the, what's it called again? The cat's eye and reflectors in there. Because, Chairman, from history, and we know, we're coming to the festive season, and when the young persons drink and they drive on Winston Jones Highway at 1,000
Tell them
miles
don't
per hour,
drink.
it becomes
Or
an
don't
issue
drive
for
if
us.
they drink.
Yeah, when they drink and drive. So we are asking that if you can put some pressure along with us at the council here to see that they can put those measures in place, because we have seen where it has helped dramatically, where they are able to see much more.
Okay. Any other questions, Roland? Any other questions for the fire? No? All right, just answer that for us, sir.
Okay, at a recent meeting, that was brought to Superintendent Needham's attention, and I believe he would have indicated that he would have done the same. I'm also was certain that he would have indicated that he would have communicated with the council as well. So we look forward to seeing that.
Okay. All right, thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. I drove through, I was going to the Melrose Cemetery on Saturday. So I drove through that scheme. And I noticed the hydrants there, they look really bad. They could do with a good facelift. For that magnitude of scheme, you need some beautiful hydrants over there. Right, Your Worship?
Well, I think the Melrose scheme is still a private scheme, it's HHA.
But the hydrants are there.
Okay, so I don't know if you turn over the scheme to government or whatever. Go ahead.
Yes, part of the beautification of the hydrant would have come under the very same program we were talking about. So each time we would have inspect or repair hydrant, the final step is to actually paint the hydrant. So our team know the first to paint hydrants, those are hydrants would have got to do. So that is a part of our program. However, we can't just go and just paint an hydrant. The last step is painting the hydrant after the repairs or the inspection, final inspections or whatever is done to them. So we will go through Melrose. Melrose is actually an area where we have most of the hydrants there are working. Most of the time it is the water supply itself, but the hydrants are there are working. So yes, we will beautify those hydrants.
All right, thank you. If you said no questions, you know, I'm moving on now to SDC, you know. I will oblige you, sir, but quickly in 2 minutes or 2 seconds.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. As I heard about the hydrants, I remember reporting broken hydrant in Alligator Pond. And I felt good seeing a team there, but it was St. Elizabeth. So they did not do the work that I reported in Manchester. However, let me also add my condolences to the team. Brother Livingston, he played a role in the educational campaign. Since his departure from that area, championing the education of fire safety. I've been at New Forest almost 7 years now, and maybe once I've seen the team come in to educate our youngsters about the safeties of fire.
Okay, go ahead.
Councillor, what well, when you get the actual report, you would have seen on the report where we have 2 hydrants inspected. One is for the Belfield area, and the other one was your hydrant. We did send a team. You might not have seen the team, but we did send a team. And as I mentioned earlier, we see what is wrong and what is happening with that hydrant. No matter what band you put on it now, we still have the issues that we are having with it. So it requires a further, more in-depth repair system down here. But that is one on our books to be repaired based on the proximity to the nearest water source. Down here is a priority. Belfield is also a priority. By the way, all the hydrants are priority, but the proximity from the other water sources, those would have been on the top of the list. As it relates to New Forest and the fire team going there, yes, our mandate would have shifted a bit, but we have expanded the area that Mr. Morgan was in. At the time when Mr. Morgan was there, we had 3 persons there. Now we have, I believe, 5 or 6, plus other persons who are trained. I am certain that we would have been back to that school over the period of time, but sometimes it does require a request from the school for us to pay a visit. Sometimes, because we have a lot of schools here, just make a request, and we can even get a tour, get them to tour the fire station. Understand? But as it relates to us being there, just make a request. Any other schools, just make a request, and we'll schedule you into in our itinerary, and we'll be there.
All right, thank you. SDC.
Your Worship, the Mayor, councillors, members from the municipality, agency reps, students and teachers, media, good afternoon. So the SDC continues to work across our communities, engaging our stakeholders. And of course, based on our participatory process, we use different programs in order to reach our spaces. And so based on that, for Rosehill CDC, which has not been so active, we have now a strategic action plan in place for Rosehill. One of the projects that have been coming out of that plan is for them to complete a bus share that they started, and Councillor Anthony Bryce have been giving them assistance so far. Again, we do capacity building sessions with our community group because we want to ensure that the groups are functioning effectively. And so we had leadership training done in Bombay and French Park. We had organizational development training with Bombay again. We had team building training in Belfield. We had financial management training done with Maidstone. And we have been doing a number of stakeholders analysis across the community groups, because what we find is that within the groups, they are not engaging the stakeholders. So sometimes you find just the regular committee members coming and they're not engaging the agencies and the councillors. So we have been doing some stakeholders analysis with them. Fairfield and French Park, their constitution has been updated and ratified, and New Green now have their NIS in place. I must add that you might be wondering in terms of the NIS, now for them to have a bank account, groups must have their TRN and NIS. And so we have been working with the bank, with tax office and with MLSS in terms of ensuring that when the groups come, they furnish them with a group NIS and also their TRN. For local sports, we had a domino competition in Grove Place with 8 teams. This was also used as a method of regrouping and re-strengthening the community group, which we have been having a little pull in terms of getting them together. Under a LED program, we had a customer service workshop. Again, that was one of the areas that we find customer service is key in anything that we do. And so because we're working with these economic initiatives, we had a trainer that came in from Kingston, and we had 15 of them attended and participated. So we're expecting and hoping that these LAIs would have improved in their customer service skills. Alligator Pond Family Extravaganza was held in September 28. Now this was a deviation from our regular Alligator Pond regatta, which we would have had, but based on election activities, there was a death in Alligator Pond and some other issues. We decided that we would still have an activity, and with our support from Councillor Omar Robinson, we were able to have our family extravaganza. So we had domino competition, we had fish scaling competition, and some other activities which Councillor Robinson was the main player. We had sponsorship from MP Bunting and some other agencies within the space. Business model was developed for Tastemaker Different, and that's one of our LEIs from Spur Tree. Project proposal was developed for one of our LEIs in my town, and that was sent to Digital Foundation, and this is to purchase raw materials, bottles and plastic covers to package the products. Project proposal was also done for Blue Mountain for a mist blower, and that was sent to Digital Foundation. Our LEI listing is now updated with 24 economic initiatives that we have across the parish. Under our interagency program, we now have a rep on the homeless committee, and we also attended the ceremony and monument unveiling for the Kendall train crash. For community research and development program, our last period we would have reported that we did the asset maps. We have received the asset maps in-house for Alligator Pond, Williamsfield, Lyndhurst and Grove Place. So what we have done so far is gone to the communities to get those maps validated to see if there was anything missed. So those have already been completed. The next step is just to continue working with our agencies as best as we can. We from time to time, we ensure that, well, the staff is well aware that they're supposed to be working with all councillors, all MPs. And so we're asking you, if by any chance we are not getting any communication from us, you can call me. My number is 852-3951, because we want to ensure that we are impactful and we are out there building sustainable communities. Thank you.
Thank you. 852.
Tamara Stewart. 852-3951.
Okay. Any questions for the officer? Yes, Mario.
Thank you, Chairman. I just want to commend the officer for the detailed and informative report. I am exceptionally pleased to hear a number of initiatives and programs in the Grove Division. But I just want to know, Chairman, if the strategic plan for the 25 and 26 is ready, and if when it's ready or when it's approved, can we share it with the council so we can know that what are some of the plans that we may have for the various development areas. Secondly, Chairman, I just want to ask, is the interagency still meeting? And if it does meet, how often does it meet? Secondly, Chairman, I don't know, but third, thank you, Councillor Knight. Just to say, Chairman, I am a little bit perturbed, and I know you have mentioned it a number of times. I think most of us, if not all of us, would have had a role to play in the SDC in our youth days. And I just want to say, with the number of crises that we're having, especially mental health and such forth, I don't know if there's any plans, might be bigger than you, Mr. Stewart, but I don't know if there's any plans where we can have a youth-based aspect of SDC again. I know the base now is in terms of youth, in terms of community, but I think we need to have somehow a foothold in the youth aspect of it again. Because as I said, Chairman, I want to repeat the importance of it. I remember as a child, as a young man in a Councillor Robinson age group, that I used to see all of my SDC reps. I used to see, you remember Councillor Knight? I remember seeing the SDC, the pastors, the JPs, everybody, the nurses, everybody walking through the community space. And if we were doing that still, I think we could have picked up some of the issues that we have in our space.
All right. Thank you. Any response, Ms. Stewart?
Okay, so for where our strategic plan is in place for 26-27, we're currently in the process of doing so, and of course we'll be engaging you in terms of going forward, because we don't want to be developing the plan and then afterwards we realize that we would have missed something that you would have wanted to implement within the respective committee. So we'll be contacting you where that is concerned. Where PN is concerned, that is being driven by the Parish Development Committee, and I know that a meeting has been set for the 23rd of October, 3 o'clock at the RADA conference room. All right, so in terms of youth, we know that youth is not really under SDC. However, SDC is responsible for all community groups. And so we work with our youth club. We continuously work with Youth Innovation Center to ensure that we implement programs that will be beneficial to our youth. What we tend to do is when we look at the issues and when we come to these meetings and when we look at what is happening in the society on a whole and when we go to the community meetings, we look at the issues and then we partner with the relevant agencies to ensure that we can touch base and meet the needs of the people.
Yeah. All right, thank you. Announcements? Huh? Yes, sir?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to commend SDC on their report and the present involvement that they have with the youths. In the Wallaston Division, Mr. Chairman, we have the first artificial turf in the parish, and this is in the Wallaston Division at second level community problems. Yeah? And so, Mr. Chairman, we'll be opening that artificial turf on the 28th of this month. Same place at second level, my gully. And so if you feel free to come and play football in the night. We're up there until 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, because we also have lights up there too. And SDC is playing a very vital part in allowing this to happen. So I must commend them on their hard work with the youths.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yes, Councillor?
Yes.
It's not SDC business. Can we close SDC business now?
No.
Oh, you go on for me.
I hear your announcement.
Eh? Richard. Yeah, all right, go on. It's announcements. Go on. Yes, go on. Go ahead. We had announcements. That's where we are.
Yes, I think that's what I heard. Yes, so I want to invite the public and my colleagues and friends to my annual Farmers Fair. This year is the 12th year I'm keeping the event. And I want to, councillors, please. Go ahead, sir. We started out bad, you know. These young councillors, you know, kind of early. They don't understand the protocols.
Yes, sir.
So I invite the public again and my colleague, my good friend here, to the annual Farmers Fair on Heroes Day, which is the 20th, right? Of October. And my good friend here is a testimony. He has won. And I want many of you guys to come and put your luck and try something. But also, we have a lot of free things there. We have tools and we have, when you come this time around, all sorts of tools and seeds for the public. And also, you know, football competition will be there. We have netball competitions. We have the things for the youngsters, the kids, right? Slides and all of those things. So I will invite the public to come on the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Yes, Mr. Chen.
Pleasant morning all, through the chair.
Afternoon? Why is the longest meeting you're not keeping up? Go ahead, sir.
The funeral service for Miss Thelma Gale, grandmother of Miss Kamoy Burford, Collection and Compliance Officer, will be held on Saturday, October 18, 2025 at 1 p.m. at the Davidton United Church, Davidton, Manchester. As well, the funeral service for the late Barrington George Clark, father of Marlon Clark, driver, will be held at Faith United Apostolic Church at Fort George in St. Anne. The funeral service for Mrs. Evelyn Morgan Cadrees, mother of Miss Anne-Marie Wright, Enforcement Officer, will be held on Saturday, October 18, 2025 at 11:30 a.m. at the Church of God of Prophecy, Redbury, Porus. Interment will be at the Family Pot, St. Louis, Porus.
Okay. All right, councillors, you hear that? Go ahead. Come in, sir.
Sir, just to announce the Royal Homeless Day celebration in collaboration with the Poor Relief Department, in collaboration with the Southern Regional Health Authority. We'll be observing Royal Homeless Day be having activities, and that is tomorrow, October 10th, 2025, starting at 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the Charlton Park. Just to give a look, highlight in some of the activities that will take place. There will be HIV testing, blood pressure testing, dental screening, depression screening, stress management counseling, blood pressure testing, cholesterol testing, day spa treatment, male and female hair grooming, distribution of care packages for the homeless clients, dancing contest and bunny eating contest. So please make an effort to be there. Also to announce the Heroes Day ceremony, which will be held on Heroes Day. More details will be shared with the councillors in short order.
Okay. All right. So Councillor Knight, you know you're presenting me tomorrow, right? You never know that. I'm sorry, no, you know now. I'll be out of town. I'll be going out of town from this evening. So, thank you for that, sir. Yeah. Accounts? Nothing?
So, Chairman, I have the collection report for property tax and trade license for the month of September 2025. Total collection for property tax, 215,491.48. Gives us a year-to-date collection figure of $542,479,862.95. Just to advise that compared to 2024, we are just under 5 million less in terms of our collection when we compare the periods. We have to date, well, at the end of September 30, collected 66% of the target for property tax collection. In terms of trade license collection for the month, $1,656,476.26.
Okay. Thank you very much. I have one announcement. Senior heads of department, you're asked to meet here on Monday morning at 9 o'clock. I don't know if the councillors will have time to come at 9 too, when I will have the introduction of the new CEO. We'll be having a meeting with the senior staff and the CEO. If councillors are available and can come at 9, you can come, because I want to have one meeting with her and leave her to Mr. Chen and the rest for them to go and visit the various departments. But I want to have one thing. I can't manage you walking up and down on Monday. All right? So senior staff members meet here at 9 o'clock. Heads of departments, we'll say. Correspondent, government ministries and departments. Monday the 13th. Monday the 13th? Yeah, right. Other sources, municipal corporation.
So, Chairman, the ALGA report was circulated.
You know, councillors and members of the council, I don't know if you have looked at your ALGA report, but I will have a copy. It was circulated. I have CEO a real problem, and I don't know if I should call that problem. In it on page 4, Portland Municipal Corporation, Buff Bay Market, where $55 million was spent, and an additional $11 million will be spent, and all of that, and there are some other things at Portland that was done and some other places. You know, I raise the point because even now, Mandeville Market, we have sent in a lot of estimates for some repairs, and the fact is that coming into the Christmas season, the market needs to be actually closed and washed down properly and tied up properly. The market is in a terrible condition. And I'm going to ask that from this council meeting today that a letter be sent. Just draft it from me, sir. I will send it to the minister with my signature to say that we are very disappointed in Manchester that no help has been forthcoming and the markets are in the poor condition. As a matter of fact, the poorest market is declared closed, which we should have done under the announcements, so that the public can know that the Ministry of Health has closed the poorest market. So activities whoever sells in the poorest market will have to come to Mandeville. But we have not been getting any assistance at all when it comes to the Mandeville market in terms of aesthetics and cleaning it up and all of that. And coming into the Christmas season, you can't stay like that. But I'm going to ask that a letter be drafted, sir, for my signature, and we'll send it to the minister and the PS, because it can't stay like this. Because sooner or later it may be declared closed too, because it can't stay so. All right. Departmental confirmation of committee meetings minutes, and they're listed there. I need a motion. Move and second, Oliphant and Kennedy. Matters referred from committees. Recommendation of fixing the council's common seal to approve subdivisions.
None, Mr. Chairman.
Recommendation of issuance of certificate of completion.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have one here. It is part of Cedar Grove for Wilby, right?
Okay, may I have a motion? So Councillor Evans, seconded by Councillor Martin Baker. All in favor? Right, questions? Any question?
Yes. Question that I have for this morning is pertaining to the work that was done on Barnstable Road. And I saw a portion of the road being done, but there's another section of the road that is in a deplorable condition, and that has not been addressed. I would like to know why. If what has been done so far is the completion of the road, or there is another phase to complete that section that has not been done. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So that has to be addressed to the Spark Secretariat, you know, because it's a Spark road that was done.
So you want a letter?
Yeah, we sent to find out what it is. But first of all, you have to ascertain how much work was supposed to be done. And if that amount of work is not done, you ask why the other part of the work is not done. So,
the proof is there.
okay, so you can ask the questions then in a form of a letter. Meet with him, let him tell you what he wants, and then you can draft the letter. Any other questions? I have one, but I want to get all the others first. Yes, sir.
Only one. This matter generally I would ask at the infrastructure meeting. But seeing as we're not going to have an infrastructure meeting until next month.
Yes, sir, go.
Right? And the rain is falling. And normally in September we normally do a drain cleaning.
But we're in October now.
And so I just want to know from you or the superintendent if there is any intention of having any drains clean in short order, because you know, come next month we're going down into the Christmas season, and we normally start put together the Christmas program, so we don't want to mix it up. So is that we're not going to do any drain cleaning for this particular season, or something is in What's the question?
There is a fact, there's a fact that the PRF has been coming 3 months late. Because as we speak now, I only learned of a figure for August yesterday. We're in October. But I'll have further discussions. Okay, the question I want to ask, because I am tired of getting them. So under the Parochial Roads Act, are there any, what whatever you call it. I don't, there's any law, any rules, any regulation as it relates to roadside garages. I have a letter on my desk that I got this morning. One lady writing us saying about some wayside garage and rats running up and down all over the place and all of that, and the road and the vehicles blocking off the roadway, people can't hardly pass and all of that. What are the ramifications? What is it that can be done? Because they're all over the parish, and I think we have to, as a municipality, to look at what is happening and how can be regulated. But we have to know what the law is saying, because I know there's no law about garages, you know, but the law has to exist as to what happens on our roads. Because what persons do is that they park these vehicles, I don't know if it's want them, don't want them, but they carry them to these garages and they put them on blocks, and they are there. Some of them are there for years. And when you remove the vehicle, the entire piece of roadway that is there does damage, and the vehicles damage the roadway and all of that. So we need to know what is happening, what we can do. You can research it, and we can have a discussion at the Roads and Works or the Traffic and Infrastructure meeting, and then from there we can draft a resolution to the minister to say that he need to make some rules and regulations as it relates to that. Because if we continue, our roadways are going to be in serious condition because of these garages. All right? Petitions? Motions? Notices of motion? Item 18. Omar, did you stop to pray this morning? Since you didn't pray this morning, I'm going to ask you to close for us in prayer. Omar Miller. No, sir, sorry, Robinson. Omar Robinson.
All right, Omar. Reverence, please. Heavenly Father, we come before you as leaders in our divisions, leaders in the parish of Manchester. Lord, I pray that you help us to be better persons each day. Help us, Lord, to move from strength to strength, and whatever challenges we have, you will help us to get over them. Lord, at this time I want you to bless our mayor in a special way. Help him to be strong. Help him to lead us in his capacity. Lord, I ask you these and many more as I say thanks in your name. Amen.
Amen. I think we're at item 19, but Councilor Omar Miller, like how you give back the money, like how you put back the money in the bank account. Yeah. I think you should be able to buy lunch for us today. But the motion is in order, please, for the adjournment. Moved by Councilor Bryce, seconded by Councilor Carl Smith. The meeting of the Manchester Municipal Corporation now stands adjourned until the second Thursday of November.